keeps stacking. It's just, I cannot account for it. I do not deserve it. It just is what it is. And that is so fucking bizarre. Hashtag weed worship. Hashtag pothead pontification. Oh shit, I started off wrong. I just started in my diatribe. I gotta warm up real quick. So, I had a very interesting experience today. And the weird thing is I've had a long line of experiences like this. And I understand human pattern recognition, I do. And I reject divinity. I reject the divine providence. I know that God is real, zero doubt, absolute fucking zealot. But God doesn't serve us, we don't serve God. There is just this reality. Although I do contend that it's possible our data is stored and continues on after. I do not believe in a heaven or hell. But I'm way off topic. Let me take it real quick, right back. So, all right, where to start? Now, if you know me in my personal and private life, through raising my family and my wife, we received a lot of benefits over the years. My wife had some disability benefits coming in, food stamps, a whole bunch of stuff, all the time. But fun fact, I never applied for any of it. Nope. I actually asked that she not. Instead, I wanted her to get off her ass, not get disability. And she had a job in 2006, I don't know, something like that, as a call center specialist in the Portland area. She had to work 2 or 3 days a week. She made $23 an hour or something. Health benefits, the whole fucking 9 yards. And she faked being sick to get on disability and put us in poverty. But, ask my kids, all our financial problems were my fault. Always. Every bit of it, my fault. And, to be honest, in a manner of speaking, they are right. Had I taken more aggressive action in our finances, it would have been much better. I genuinely didn't realize how much money she was doing until like the pandemic and shit hit, and she just kept hemorrhaging money, going out, partying, drinking, and the whole time telling my kids she couldn't help them because Dad didn't have a job. Dad wasn't putting money in the account. Dad put hundreds of thousands of dollars in the account and didn't get shit to show for it. August 19th, 2019, 5:37 p.m., thereabouts. My wife of 20 some odd years looked me in the eye and said, "The kids and I have been talking about it, and we don't want you in our lives anymore." Which in and of itself is like, oh, what? But the fucked up part is how much time I spent trying to talk to my kids about the problems we had. Like, I was literally beat for asking my parents questions. Like, my dad slapped the shit out of me one time for telling him that my stepmom was sticking her tongue out at me. But she was. She was behind his back a little bit. He couldn't see her. He was pissed off and yelling at me. I screamed, "She's sticking her tongue out at me," and he knocked the shit out of me. By contrast, I would constantly go to my children and say, "Hey guys, I feel like there's a problem between us. Is everything okay? Can we talk? What's going on?" "Nah, Dad, it's cool." "It's all in your head, Dad. You're imagining things." Maybe. Now, to be clear, that is something I hold my kids accountable for directly as far as problems in the relationship with my wife and I. That dishonesty, that was a problem between me and my wife, because she would tell me things they had said, and I would call her a fucking liar. And to be clear, I caught her in many, many lies outside of that. So even if she was being true every time she mentioned it, I never believed it. I was like, what bullshit? You're fucking lying. My kids didn't say that shit. But she did. She told me all kinds of shit they'd say about me over the years. But I was trained in leadership, U.S. Navy. Praise in public, punish in private. It's a leadership principle. And I kept that principle for most of my kids' lives until their late teenage years when they got in high school. And I think what really set it off was my son started having a lot of stomach issues, and I realized Munchausen and hypochondria were family traits. Their mom had it. She got it from her mom. And I suspect their grandma may have as well, but she settled down in her older years. First time I ever met their grandma Marlene, we had to pull one of their kids out of they had broken their leg down a ravine, and we had to rig up this stretcher, and like 10 or 12 of us did this riverine rescue it was straight up rescue 911 shit. It was like 2 or 3 hours. We went over these, it was only like a mile and a half distance we had to cover, but it was up in the North Fork area. It wasn't a path. We were on a fucking river, and we were trying to bring this crippled girl up to safety, and we succeeded. We got her out of there. Got home and found out she had a light sprain. But that wasn't the crazy part. I mean that was okay. Sure, 12 guys needed to carry you because your ankle hurt. All right, we did it. Whatever. But when we got home, I met Marlene. Oh, that woman. She was a lot like my sister Vonnie. Absolute clusterfuck of chaos. But like my sister Vonnie, she was raised by someone. She didn't just sprout up one day from under a mushroom. She was built to be the chaos ball she was. But she had realized that her daughter had been hurt and injured and had gotten a lot of attention and affection. Suddenly she had a horrible fall in the garage and happened to have hurt the same exact leg. It was a family dynamic I would see play out many, many times over the years. That family plays on guilt trip and manipulation and, oh, I'm so sick. Oh, I'm so sick. I always hated it when my ex-wife did that. Like, you have no idea how many hundreds we spent on medical bills before she got pregnant and we got on OHP. I mean, just like fucking ridiculous amounts. She was always trying to convince everybody that she was so sick. I heard that woman diagnosed with every fucking thing under the sun. So in high school, when my son got sick, I was like, oh, shit. That sucks. And, maybe there's some medical basis behind it. To my knowledge, he's sensitive to fructose corn syrup. I guess he's got some problems with weed too. But to be clear, I never started him smoking weed. That was entirely a her thing. He had gotten surgery and was having meds for the pain. She said, hey, why don't you start smoking weed instead? She had spent the previous 20 years screaming and yelling at me about weed use, being sure to keep it away from the kids, but as soon as he had some pills to sell, she got him weed. Refresh. Give me a second. All right, so where was I? Oh yeah, she got him weed. I guess he's got some issues with it now, so he quit smoking again. Good for him. Honestly, I don't know. They don't talk to me anymore. I abused them so much as a child. I beat them. I molested them. I stole from them, putting credit in their names. No, I didn't do anything. Didn't do any of that shit. But I did give them absolute love and devotion, unquestionably, at all times. Man, I went to them so many times and tried to talk and make things better. And all they ever gave a shit was protecting mommy. Okay. Not their fault. It really isn't. Much more my fault than theirs. In the first 10 or 15 years of their life, I manipulated them so hard into protecting her and trying to preserve the relationship. And, 2016, 2018, I realized I had spent so much of my fucking life just trying to appease a person that gave no fucks about me. And to be clear, if you're reading this and saying, or listening to this and you think, oh my God, you can't say that about your wife, by all means, tag them in it. Let them know. Be sure they see this. I pray to God one of them takes me to court. I'm not even lying about that a little bit. I pray to God. I didn't want to get your mom in trouble. If I wanted your mom in trouble, she would have been in prison in 2010, and I absolutely failed you in that regard. I accept that. I absolutely fucking did. I focused so much more on trying to protect our family, and you didn't even fucking want it. I overlooked so many of her failings, so many of her weaknesses. She didn't let one of mine go. Remember, all I ever did was smoke weed and go to work. She never even put in fucking 30 hours a week. She would just take credit for everything that all her little lackeys did. She would volunteer for all this shit so she could have excuses for not doing shit around the house. Like, if you go through and look at my carpet right now, it looks like a fucking Dalmatian lived here. Now, none of this is from since me and my mom. No. Well, no, that's not true. My mom spilled the thing down the stairs, which was her mess. That is disgusting. But all the messes out here, like when the cat was pooping, we cleaned that shit up. All this stuff is from before. I was supposed to get carpet cleaner that we had bought back so I could take care of this, but apparently it got broken. Sure. Conveniently after I said some shit on Facebook. Yeah. I really hate people that are fucking scandalous and talk shit behind your back but can't look you in the eyes and say they got beef. I did not know that was my wife and kids. Well, the wife I knew. Yeah, she absolutely has always been so fucking fake. I wish him the best. I really do. Like, I'm mad about the cat killing and showing up with fucking muscle to steal my best friend. But I could have talked about that. Could have worked it out. They never gave a fuck. They never wanted to hear my side of the story. They never wanted to listen to me. Just protect mommy. Kuna Matata. I told her on our first date that I wanted to walk my baby girl down the aisle. It was a couple hours before she raped me. Jesus. I put up with so much from that psychotic piece of shit because she convinced me she had been raped by Randy. Medicine had exposed that, didn't it, Liz? Medicine had exposed a lot of your shit. And I absolutely failed you in that regard. Your medicine head was a serious problem. I did not. Like, the lies I accused you of about the kids, well, they probably did. And a lot of the lies I accused you about with the medicine head, it probably happened, but I didn't know how bad the medicine head was. Like, I thought it was an every once in a blue moon thing. I thought when it happened, I would know. We did have the greatest sex of our life because of it, though. A couple times. That last time wasn't, well, it was a little more extreme than normal. But that was the time you told me about, I didn't get raped. I just didn't want people to think I was a slut. God, that first date, the shit you told me you did to that man. Fuck. Kuna Matata. Today is such a fucking good day. Now, I have never sought benefits. I've qualified for them for fucking a couple of years, but I rejected it because I've always known that I could go work at McDonald's part-time and I wouldn't qualify anymore. And I ain't being no fucking slave wage ever fucking again. You're paying less than $20 an hour? Fuck you. And if you're paying $20 an hour, you are getting the bare fucking minimum from me. You ain't getting my tools and hardware and fuck you. Be lucky if I change a fucking light bulb for you for $20 fucking an hour. You can't even buy a fucking value meal with that anymore. Our society is so fucking stupid, and I'm tired of people telling me I'm wrong. If you think I am, let's sit down and talk about the math of it. No, I love my wife and kids more than anything still to this day. What they've done to me is fucking insane. For the most part, it's miscommunication, not between me and my wife. That was fucking malicious. The shit she did to me was malicious intent. Kuna Matata. But I never wanted benefits. And my mom and I, we struggled since living in together. We've had butted heads a lot. In the most recent months, I've started thinking maybe she's got early onset dementia. But we've had a lot of problems with our communication. And like as an example, in my childhood, this man, Charlie Alford, beat me with a 2x4, left bruise on me because I had a bedwetting problem. And he had put me outside in a diaper. And apparently the kids and I had moved to the side of the house, and he came home and saw me there. So he dragged me inside and beat me with a 2x4 for not letting the neighborhood see me in a diaper. I think I was like 8, something like that. My mom couldn't really understand why that was a problem for me. Why it's a paddle. Bruises on your child's body. What? Many years later, my Aunt Lillian got involved, or my Aunt Carrie got involved. Sorry, they look a lot alike, and I always mix them up. My Aunt Carrie got involved and was like, Susie, this was bad. But my mom and I would argue about it for years. She actually tried to convince me one time that it didn't happen to me, but she had told me the story about it happening to her little brother, and so I made a memory out of that. It's always fascinating to me when people try to manipulate me and psychoanalyze me. I'm like, yeah, okay, good luck with that. Let's dance. She did, bless her heart, she did finally come around and say, okay, yeah, I probably shouldn't have stayed with the man. My favorite excuse of hers was that she had made a promise to him that she wouldn't leave him like the other girls did. And I said, well, Mama, what about the promise you made to your newborn baby? I think she ran off upstairs shortly after that. Bless her heart. So I've been asking her to go get therapy. And to be honest, a large part of it was, Mom, you can bring me in there. We can help us communicate. We can find common ground. And we can talk about our differences. So when she came back from Arizona, or from California with my Aunt Carrie, she still hadn't got any therapy, hadn't taken any action on it. And then we had this really bad incident shopping, and I lost my shit. She had to go back, and she needed to get therapy, but she didn't. She still didn't. Well, because all the shit that's going on at the house, my PTSD has started flaring up a lot lately, and so I actually ended up having to go down and apply for health care. I'm still applying for jobs every day, still looking for work, but over 50. And the fucked up part is I get a lot of interviews, and then they no-show on me. Like, they'll schedule a date and time, and then never show up. Les Schwab did that to me like 3 times, a couple other companies. I think there's somebody out there trolling me, but it's weird. But I can't get a fucking call back for an interview for anything. So I went down, got OHP, and while I was there, they said, hey, you qualify for food stamps. You want to sign up? No? Well, you do qualify if you want to get it. I'm like, well, I mean, what the hell? I'm getting health and medical, and I need the health. Actually, I've got some lung issues and time skips. How do I describe this correctly? I'm losing track of time. So I went like 76 hours without eating once. And the fucked up part is I will remember, hey, I'm hungry. I should go eat something. Squirrel. 8 hours later, ooh, I'm hungry. I should go eat something. Squirrel. So I am seeking mental health for personal reasons and related to my PSD and my memory. Not psychosis or anything like that. But hey, if it comes up, it comes up. No shame in my game. So they got me food stamps. And I got paperwork today for that. Something about one work requirements or something. And I was like, oh, fuck. Because one of the first things in there is you have to accept any job offer. But I don't apply for anything for less than $20 an hour. So I was like, okay. And if my mom is going to live in the street, I'll go work at McDonald's. Anything less than that, I'll starve. I don't give a fuck. But a couple weeks ago, I had this idea. I don't know if you know, I'm starting a political party called the Fuck You Party. But I was trying to think, how can I employ homeless people and make it a profitable venture? And stage one was to find a way to generate accounts for them where I can get a QRU and a sign. And the signs are going to say something to the effect, this person is trying to rebuild their life. Donate to this QRU to contribute to that. And it'll be a tax donation. And then we coordinate with nonprofits looking for people to generate solicitations. And that QRU would be attached to the sign holder. And the sign holder would get like 25% of whatever came in through that. It'd be a way for people that maybe have unsavory backgrounds to be contractors without exposing others to danger. You know, if you click a QRU, you can donate. You don't have to roll down your window to talk to anybody. You just roll by and scan, and they get 25% of your donation. Seems like a great idea. And I thought, maybe we could take this a little bit further. Maybe we could find a way to allow them to donate their time back to the FYP. Since it's going to be a nonprofit organization, donations into us can be tax write-offs. And the idea there was to give them a big tax cut or tax break that would allow them to avoid paying taxes and shit on the money they're getting. And I was like, oh yeah, I could try to make that work. And I thought maybe there's some way I could use FYP to buy their tax credits and sump those together and contract out to other places to get work for them. And a lot of ideas, but it was all just, this could be interesting. Maybe I can make something out of this. And today I'm reading over the work credit requirements. And I'm like, shit. I do not want to go work at McDonald's. But the work requirements are fucking cake. All you have to do is 20 hours a week, earning income, or so at least 80 hours each month doing one or more of the following. So that's 20 hours a week, working for pay. No dollar amount, no requirement. But the second one there, doing unpaid work, such as volunteering at a nonprofit or doing community service. So if you're a homeless person, volunteering to help generate donations, and you're getting money paid back off of that, and you're getting tax donations to avoid income tax on that, it's kind of a good job. You don't gotta fuck with the crowds. You just stand in the corner for a couple hours, make 40 or 50 bucks, go about your fucking business. Yeah, I cannot account for the way my life is stacking up. I don't deserve it. I am blessed beyond all fucking reasoning. Oh, Jesus tits, Batman. Anyways, love you always and forever. Stand by. It's gonna be fucking amazing.